Hello, I'm Aishani and you're watching Shoolini Spotlight. Today we have Dr. Gaurav Sharma with us, who is Nanomaterials and the composites expert. And he will be sharing valuable insights with us today. Sir, welcome to Shoolini Spotlight.
Thank you, Shani.
So to begin with, could you briefly explain what nanomaterials are and why are they important in today's world?
Yeah, see, nanotechnology or nanomaterials is not the concept of present only. It is from the centuries that their nanomaterials exist. If I take example of, Ajanta caves, so there are the paintings in which some kind of a special pigments has been used on that times, and those pigment consist of materials which are very tiny. Actually, what are the nanomaterials? Nanomaterials are those materials which has a dimension in a nano range, particularly 1 to 100 nanometer. So we say nanotechnology now, but this is a concept which has its roots in the past also. So you will find that the nanomaterials or nanotechnology is an integrated science, is an interdisciplinary science which find applications from medicines, aerospace, then environment. So it's very vast and very brief and also a very interesting science which is now blooming in India and abroad.
So nanotechnology is often called the technology of the future. How is it transforming modern science and industry?
See, again, I will come to the past. It's a technology of future, no doubt, because nowadays everything is concising. Okay, we don't have much time for a lot of things, so everyone want to speed up, with the technology. So nanotechnology really helps in that. If I give you a very simple example, have you seen the computer chips? They are decreasing day by day in the size. How? Due to the development of nanomaterials in the form of semiconductors. You can store a huge amount of information in a tiny chip. That is a nanotechnology. In the similar ways, we are talking about genetics, medicines. So there are upcoming nanomaterials which are very tiny, very small, which can work on the molecular and the atomic level, okay, of even DNA to change it or to modify it. So we can say that really it is going to be a very boon in coming future from every aspect. You will find applications related to day-to-day life, okay. You will find nanomaterials in your cosmetics. You will find a nanomaterial into aerospace also. So it's very, very vast. So it's really a boom for technology to come in a nano dimension in the future. Okay.
That is very insightful, sir.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to work in the field of nanomaterials and environmental sciences and medicines?
See, again, I'm telling you the inspiration behind working in the nanomaterials or nanotechnology comes from its broad spectrum of application. Okay, so I have told you that nanotechnology is an interdisciplinary science. So when I work in a nanomaterials or nanotechnology, I found it very fascinating, very interesting. I can develop a nanomaterial which can work in environmental pollution as well as that it can find an application in a drug delivery or medicine. So if I say, if I plan out to a material which can found a so vast applications, and then it is again in a nano dimension, and it is also economical and sustainable. The most important thing which is coming into the nanotechnology nowadays is the sustainability. So we work on those materials which are highly sustainable, greener in nature. So all these aspects of nanotechnology caters my interest to focus in this field and to work on nanomaterials.
So how can nanomaterials help in solving environmental problems such as pollution?
Yeah, see, nowadays, all over the world, whether you will consider developing countries or developed countries, you will see that water pollution, air pollution has very much grown up. And this has led to the scarcity of the drinkable water. So recently, some researchers, even my team, we are working on those materials which can eradicate these pollutants or contaminants. Either these are heavy metals or these can be organic pollutants. Even, I will give you just a brief example. We feel that antibiotics are good for health, okay? But antibiotic manufacturing, the plants where they are manufactured, there are a lot of chemicals are used. Even antibiotic residues from our body are directly disposed into the wastewater. So that wastewater is totally contaminated. By using nanomaterials, by the process of adsorption or photocatalysis, that is a deeper aspect of into it, we can clean that water. We can degrade that pollutants, either those are heavy metals or organic waste, into simpler forms, and that water can be reused. Similarly, the nanomaterials can be also explored for carbon capture and carbon storage. So yeah, it can really be helpful for the environmental detoxification.
Alright, sir. So, can nanotechnology play a role in purifying water and improving air quality?
Yeah, surely. I told you in my previous answer also that I will give you some examples of nanomaterials or nanophotocatalyst. You know, अगर मैं आपको लेमन की भाषा में समझाऊं, एक फोटोकैटलिस्ट क्या होता है? एक फोटोकैटलिस्ट एक ऐसी प्रोसेस है जिसमें किसी मटेरियल से रिएक्टिव ऑक्सीजन स्पीसीज निकलती हैं और वो आपके जो ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं उनको सिंपलर ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स में डिग्रेड करती हैं। तो हमारे पास कुछ नैनो मटेरियल्स हैं, जैसे जिंक ऑक्साइड है, टाइटेनियम ऑक्साइड है, ठीक है। इन नैनो मटेरियल्स के बैंड गैप को हम इंजीनियर करके उनको फोटोकैटलिसिस की एप्लीकेशन में यूज करके हम क्या करते हैं, सिंपली जो आपके कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स होते हैं जो कि टॉक्सिक है नेचर में, उनको ब्रेक करते हैं सिंपलर ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स में जो कि नॉन टॉक्सिक होते हैं। तो उस तरह से इसमें वाटर प्यूरिफिकेशन में नैनो मटेरियल्स को यूज किया जा सकता है। आजकल एक और नया ट्रेंड आ रहा है जिसमें नैनो मटेरियल्स को हम क्या करते हैं, उनकी बैंड गैप इंजीनियरिंग करते हैं या उनको हम किसी ऐसे और सब्सटेंसेस के साथ मिक्स करते हैं ताकि एक नई क्लास नैनो मटेरियल्स की बन जाए जिन्हें हम बोलते हैं नैनो कंपोजिट्स, ठीक है। और ये जो नैनो कंपोजिट्स हैं, देन दे आर एक्सप्लोर्ड फॉर वाटर प्यूरिफिकेशन, इवन फॉर कार्बन स्टोरेज, ओके। सो या श्योरली nano materials and their composites can find a vast application in the field of water remediation or air purification.
So, how can nanotechnology contribute to sustainable development and a greener future?
See, nowadays everyone is talking about sustainability, greener chemistry, but then the concept comes for a new researchers जो नए शोधकर्ता हैं, उनको इस तरह के नैनो मटेरियल्स बनाने हैं जो सस्टेनेबल हो नेचर में, जिनको हम रीयूज कर सकें और जो ग्रीनर हो नेचर में, ठीक है। तो जनरली आजकल क्या किया जा रहा है, जो नैनो पार्टिकल्स बनाए जाते हैं, वेदर वो कॉस्मेटिक्स में यूज हो या ड्रग डिलीवरी में यूज हो, उन्हें उन चीजों से बनाया जाता है जो नॉन टॉक्सिक हो नेचर में, या उस मेथड को या टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके बनाया जाता है जो नॉन टॉक्सिक हो नेचर में। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप लोगों को पता होगा घर में आपके बहुत सारे मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स होते हैं, ठीक है, जैसे आपके तुलसी है, ठीक है। इसके अलावा आपके पास और भी मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं, जैसे आपका जिंजर है। तो उनके एक्सट्रैक्ट्स को लेके हम क्या करते हैं, मेटल ऑक्साइड पार्टिकल्स को सिंथेसाइज करते हैं। तो ये जो नैनो मटेरियल की सिंथेसिस होती है, ये कैसी होगी नेचर में, ग्रीन होगी नेचर में, ठीक है। सो जनरली, सो देन वी कैन कॉल दैट दीज मटेरियल्स आर सिंथेसाइज्ड बाय ग्रीनर मेथड्स। या हम क्या करेंगे, हम इस तरह के पॉलीमेरिक ग्रीन नैनो मटेरियल्स बनाएंगे जो कि ऐसे मटेरियल से ड्राइव्ड हो जो टोटली नॉन टॉक्सिक हो। तो हमें अभी जरूरत है इस समय नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी की फील्ड में सस्टेनेबल टेक्नोलॉजी को या सस्टेनेबल टेक्निक्स को और ग्रीनर केमिस्ट्री को यूज करने की, ठीक है। अगर आम आदमी को समझाया जाए तो हमें नैनो मटेरियल्स उस तरह से बनाने हैं ताकि वो नॉन टॉक्सिक हो, ठीक है, और जिनकी सिंथेसिस कैसी हो, ग्रीन हो, और जिनका आगे एप्लीकेशन में भी कोई साइड इफेक्ट्स ना हो।
Alright, sir. So, what role can nanomaterials play in reducing carbon emissions and promoting clean energy?
See, nowadays government is spending huge amount of money, okay, into the field of carbon emission to reduce the CO2 concentration. So when we talk about nanomaterials, I don't know, but in the present recent times, some kind of a nanomaterial such as CNTs, जिनको हम बोलते हैं कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब्स, या ग्रेफिडीन, ये ग्राफीन बेस्ड मटेरियल्स, या इवन कुछ मेटल नैनो पार्टिकल्स, उनको यूज किया जाता है पहले तो CO2 को सिक्वेसिस करने के लिए, मतलब कैप्चर करने के लिए। उसके बाद हम उस CO2 को जो है वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स में चेंज कर सकते हैं। अब ये जनरली वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट आप लोगों की समझ से बाहर की चीज है कि वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स क्या होते हैं। मैं आपको सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूं। अगर मैं कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को यूज करके बायो इथेनॉल बना सकूं, या मिथेनॉल बना सकूं, या फॉर्फ्यूरल बना सकूं, जो कि सारे क्या हैं, वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, मैं अपने नैनो मटेरियल की सहायता से CO2 को पहले तो कैप्चर कर रहा हूं और उस CO2 को फिर किसी अच्छी चीज में बदल रहा हूं जो कि नॉन टॉक्सिक है और जो कि यूजेबल है। सो यस, इन कार्बन एमिशन, फ्रॉम कैप्चरिंग कार्बन टू कन्वर्टेड इनटू कार्बन इनटू अ वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स, नैनो मटेरियल्स और नैनो कंपोजिट्स कैन बी वेरी पोटेंशियल, वेरी यूजफुल, very useful. And with the growing field and researcher interest in this, even governments want to push money, want to cater more research into the field of CO2 reduction or CO2 capture by using these kind of nanomaterials.
Sir, do you think nanotechnology can help developing countries tackle environmental issues more effectively?
Yeah, surely. That's true, absolutely true. Because environmental issues, as we know, are of most important concern for any country. Because everyone needs clean air, clean water. Okay, so the problem is that the waste, either that waste can be a industrial waste, home waste, and that waste end up into the environment. Okay, it can be directly disposed into the rivers, or it can be directly liberated into the air. So again, coming to the previous answers of mine, you will find that these nanomaterials have a very potential to cater these environmental issues by cleaning up the waters. Now there are some membranes are coming up, okay, desalination membranes, which are made up of the nanomaterials. Okay, typically in nano oxides, and those oxides generally used for degradation of your pollutants. Either they are in a water or they are in a air. But the problem with the real application of nanotechnology is that it's quite expensive. We need to find alternative ways by which we can reduce the cost efficiency of nanomaterials, so they can find applications in a household things. So that is the field of area or researchers need to think that how to lower the cost of nanomaterial synthesis, and then how to implement them in a real life situations that need to be addressed more and more. Yeah.
That was very insightful, sir. So what are some of the most exciting recent developments in nanomaterials research?
Okay. If you are talking about the recent developments in the nanomaterials or nanotechnology, you will see, earlier the people were afraid of using nanomaterials in the field of medicine because, the potential risks of toxicity, how they will end up in the body, okay, how the body will respond to it. But now that scenario has been changed. Okay, the scientists, the researchers are exploring the field of nanomaterials in application of wound healing. Okay, even in cancers, chemotherapy. Earlier, that is only the chemicals are injected, but now it has been found that if you use some kind of a special nanomaterials and then orient them in some specific electronic or magnetic field, they can even kill the cancer cells. So that is the most wonderful aspect, that now nanomaterials or nanotechnology is exploring its field in the field of medicine. Similarly, might be you have heard about nanofertilizers. Okay, nanofertilizers. इफ आई गिव यू वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल, अगर मैं लेमन की भाषा में आपको समझाऊं तो पहले हम यूरिया खाद इस्तेमाल करते थे, फिर अब ऑर्गेनिक का टर्म आ गया है कि डेट वी आर यूजिंग ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइजर्स. ठीक है, लेकिन उनका जो स्केल था, साइज का डायमेंशन था, दैट वाज हायर. लेकिन उसी साइज डायमेंशन को अगर आप नैनो स्केल में ले आए, जो कि 1 से 100 नैनोमीटर के बीच में है, तो उसकी एफिशिएंसी बढ़ जाती है. जैसे कि अगर हम कहें आप नॉर्मल यूरिया यूज कीजिए और आप नैनो यूरिया यूज कीजिए. ठीक है, तो व्हाट विल बी द पोटेंशियली मोर बेनिफिशियल? नैनो यूरिया वुड बी मोर बेनिफिशियल एज कंपेयर टू यूरिया. ओके, सो या, that can be a potential future developments, that we can even explore nanomaterials for bone regeneration. Okay, then we can go even beyond that limits. We can have some kind of a special kind of lightweight nanomaterials which can find application in space aircrafts, because that is required at present. Okay, so yeah, it can be.
So what are the challenges the scientists face while researching and developing nanotechnology solutions?
Okay, see, still the infrastructure to work with nanomaterials is limited. Because if I will give you example, in a developing country like India, we need to have a more research infrastructure related to nanomaterials. Because nanomaterial synthesis, characterization is expensive thing. Okay, we require a lot of instruments to even find the properties of nanomaterials, and for that we need very much sophisticated labs. We need very much sophisticated instrumentations. Okay, for example, if I want to elucidate their chemical properties or surface properties, I need to characterize them by scanning electron microscope or transmission electron microscope. So really we need one thing, and that is the infrastructure which deals with the development of nanomaterials and their characterization.
So how important is interdisciplinary research in the field of nanotechnology?
Okay, see, I will again come to my first answer. Nano is new, but nano is not new. Okay, it has been there for the centuries in the past, but now it's explored to more extent. Okay, so as your question says, what is the potential of nanomaterials or nanotechnology in the present context, you can judge it by my answers. I find application of a nanomaterial in agriculture, nanofertilizers. Number two, I find application of nanomaterials in nanomedicines. Number three, I find its application in semiconductors for energy storage. Okay, then at the similar time, I find application of nanomaterials in aerospace. Okay, even I find application of nanomaterials to develop a lightweight bodies of aircrafts, isn't it? There is an immense potential of nanomaterials or nanotechnology in every sphere of life. I think in next 5 or 10 or 15 years, we cannot imagine a life without a nano.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was an exciting take, sir.
Okay.
So are there any risk or ethical concerns associated with the use of nanomaterials?
To be honest, I love this question. Why? See, everyone is talking about nanotechnology, nanomaterials, nanocomposite. But what is the end fate of nanomaterials is still debatable. Okay, we are trying to find out what would be the end of nanomaterials. Means when I talk about end, means not end, means how they end up in the environment, how they interact with the human body, or how they will interact with flora and fauna. It's still not fully explored. And researchers are going on this field to explore these material, that if I made some kind of a nanomaterials and I use those nanomaterial as a nanofertilizer, or I use them in a nanomedicine, then how they will end up in the environment. That is a debatable question. Yeah, few nanomaterials can be toxic, few can be non-toxic. Then the question comes how to resolve it. And the best thing is integrate nanotechnology with sustainability and green chemistry. Because if I am making some kind of a nanomaterials which are non-toxic, which are biocompatible, and I am following the principle of green chemistry to develop those materials, and then I am studying each and every aspect of those materials, even the precursors I am using to synthesize those materials are greener in nature, then I can definitely assure you that nanotechnology or nanomaterials are not going to be toxic or are not going to have any kind of a environmental or a human health risks. But we need to work on it.
So you mentioned medicines and fertilizers. So sir, how are nanomaterials being used in healthcare, electronics or agriculture today?
See, I told you already that when I'm talking about nanofertilizers, okay, you can use kgs of fertilizer and you can use mgs of nanofertilizer. The efficacy of any materials, generally, this is a generalized term, okay? So the efficacy or efficiency of any material which is in a nano dimension increases 100 folds. Okay? Because at what, if I can explain you in a simple layman language, तो मैं कहूँगा कि जब हम किसी भी वस्तु की, ठीक है, साइज को छोटा करते जाते हैं, तो उसकी जो फिजियोकेमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज है वो एंटायरली जो उसकी मास से होती है वो पूरी तरह से भिन्न हो जाती है, अलग हो जाती है. उसकी जो फिजियोकेमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज है वो एनहांस हो जाती हैं. अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल दूं, अगर आप कोई दवाई लेते हैं, ठीक है, या नैनो मेडिसिन लेते हैं, तो जो नैनो मेडिसिन की जो एफिकेसी है वो ज्यादा हो जाती है एक नॉर्मल मेडिसिन से. क्यों, कैसे समझाऊंगा मैं इसे? सी, अल्टीमेटली कोई भी अगर आप मेडिसिन जो आप टारगेट कर रहे हो उसको टारगेटेड सेल के साथ जाके एसोसिएट होना होता है, काम करना होता है, तो उसको उस सेल के अंदर पेंट्रेट करना होता है, उसकी मेम्ब्रेन को पेंट्रेट करना होता है. अगर उसकी डायमेंशंस ज्यादा बड़ी हैं तो उसको उसकी टारगेटेड जगह पर पहुंचने तक दिक्कत होगी. लेकिन अगर हम उसी की डायमेंशन को छोटा कर देंगे तो जो उसका टारगेटेड प्लेस ऑफ एक्शन होगा वहां वो आसानी से पहुंच पाएंगी और उसकी एफिशिएंसी और एफिशिएंसी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी। तो हम कह सकते हैं बहुत अच्छे से कि जब भी कोई चीज का हम नैनो मटेरियल की रेंज में लाते हैं तो उसकी जितनी भी प्रॉपर्टीज, फिजियोकेमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं वो एनहांस हो जाती हैं, बेटर हो जाती हैं। तो इस वजह से जो उसका एप्लीकेशन स्पेक्ट्रम है वो बढ़ जाता है और वो हमें बेहतर रिजल्ट्स देता है।
Sir, do you think nanotechnology will become more affordable and accessible in the future?
Yes, and we have to do that. See, it's about any science, whether we are talking about nanotechnology, nanomaterials, or any science. The science is only that science which really benefits the society. Okay, so generally, at present, I know that synthesizing nanomaterials, nanocomposites, working on nanotechnology requires lot of infrastructure, requires lot of money. Okay, but with the gradual change in technology, the alternative methods, the sustainable approaches, the greener approaches, sooner or later will affect this field, and the cost of synthesis, application, characterization will lower down. So in future, yeah, we need to find the alternative ways to synthesize nanomaterials, to work on nanotechnology, so it can become less expensive, so it can reaches the masses. That's why only it can find its importance in the day-to-day life, okay, for the societal benefits.
Alright, sir. So where do you see the future of nanotechnology in the next 10 or 20 years?
Yeah, again, then we talk about the future of nanotechnology. It's highly promising. Why it's promising? The question is because more and more the nanotechnology is getting explored. More and more new dimensions of science is coming out. We are learning so many huge things. Huge things when I say, see, earlier we have studied matter at molecular level. Okay, then we studied matter at atomic level. Now we are studying that matter at nano level. और तीनों को अगर समझाया जाए तो तीनों की परिभाषा, तीनों की प्रॉपर्टीज, जब मैं प्रॉपर्टीज की बात करता हूं, चाहे वो रासायनिक प्रॉपर्टीज है या किसी और तरह की प्रॉपर्टीज है, वो एक ही मटेरियल की, अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा उदाहरण दूं, मैं एक सिल्वर ले लेता हूं, ठीक है। सिल्वर की मॉलिक्यूलर लेवल पे प्रॉपर्टीज कुछ और हैं, एटॉमिक लेवल पे कुछ और हैं, और वही अगर सिल्वर आपका नैनो लेवल पे आएगा तो उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज कुछ और हो जाएंगी। और जनरली अभी तक शोधकर्ताओं ने, रिसर्चर्स ने ये देखा है कि जो नैनो मटेरियल्स आपके होते हैं, ठीक है, जनरली इनकी प्रॉपर्टीज बहुत भिन्न होती हैं आपके मास मटेरियल से, और वही प्रॉपर्टीज जो हैं हमारे लिए फ्यूचर में बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉमिसिंग है, बहुत ज्यादा हाईलाइटिंग है। तो हाँ, जरूर आगे फ्यूचर में, आगे 5 साल बाद, 10 साल बाद या 15 साल बाद या अभी भी इस पे बहुत सारा शोध होगा, शोध किया जाएगा, और जो अभी तक इसकी शाखाएं या बोल सकते हैं जो ब्रांचेस जो अभी तक अनएक्सप्लोर्ड हैं, ठीक है, उन्हें और ज्यादा एक्सप्लोर किया जाएगा। सो इट इज वेरी प्रॉमिसिंग फॉर एनीवन टू वर्क इन द फील्ड ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स और नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी। यस।
So now the final question, what advice would you give to students who want to build a career in nanotechnology and environmental research?
Okay. See, for any profession, whether it's a nanotechnology or whether it's sciences, whether it's arts, whether it's anything, you need one thing, that is a hard work. Okay. And number 2, the interest. If you have really an interest in nanomaterials, nanocomposite, if you find fascinating fascinating that how matter, how material works is such a small level where our eyes we cannot see it. See, I cannot see a nanomaterial from a naked eye. Okay, so that's make me fascinating, to explore materials, to look into the transmission electron microscope, to scanning electron microscope, that how beyond atomic and molecular level how material behaves, what are the properties. So that caters my interest. Okay, that is my food for my research. So if you really feel you are more interested in the world which you cannot see through your naked eyes, and you want to explore it, you want to learn it, that what is beyond what we cannot see, then the field of nanomaterials, nanotechnology will welcome you and you will love to work in it.
Thank you so much, sir. The whole session was very insightful.
Thank you so much for having me, and hope that I am useful for those people who work in the field of nanomaterials. Thank you.